Before we move along, consistent with this program's theme, is there an economic dividend to doing the right thing? We know it's good for the environment. We know it's good for preserving wildlife. It's good for humanity because it ensures there's water supply. Is there another economic angle here that needs to be appreciated more?
We're moving towards this direction for urban parks.
Okay.
There is a study that showed that when a real estate development has a well-managed park right beside it, the real estate value goes up. Kasi una-una, there's an area for the people to walk around in. The air is different.
Right.
The air is different, tapos you will hear birds. And then,
the environment's serene.
yes, exactly.
Air is clean.
It adds to your emotional and mental health. It becomes holistic. So you're not just thinking about profit in the sense that you're making money because you're building concrete structures, but you're also looking out for the wellness of the residents.
Well, talking about development, that's one of the problems in the Philippines, isn't it? That we've had so many decades of steady deforestation. And you wrote recently an article that we published in the Manila Times about the importance of preserving Sierra Madre.
Oh, yes.
Can you talk about what's the issue? What should people be concerned about? I mean, I think this was framed in the context of the last Typhoon Paeng, or maybe...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We were bracing ourselves, diba? The country was preparing the Filipinos to be ready because Karding, it's Typhoon Karding, right?
Yeah.
Signal number 5 na brace yourselves, there's going to be a lot of damage, whatever. You have to charge your batteries, collect water just in case the water gets cut and everything. But meteorologists found that the impact of Karding was softened because of Sierra Madre. So, yeah, Sierra Madre was getting hit. Some of our people lost the roofs from the houses, but still, people from the lower lands were saved. So that's another economic benefit of saving, investing in environment.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you say that when they talk about climate change and environmental issues, that people seem to forget that the connection really is with poverty? I mean, would you agree with that observation that climate change really is about resolving the poverty issue, because the poor people are the ones who are more vulnerable?
They're the ones who suffer the most. Yes.
You and I live in a gated community, right?
Yes.
That's the reality, and we don't have the same insecurity as other people do when there's a typhoon. But would you say that that's a legitimate connection to make?
Definitely. I mean, like for instance, our fishermen.
Okay.
If we lose the fish, what will they fish?
Okay.
What will they eat? What will they sell? Nothing.
Okay.
So it's a good conclusion that if you don't protect the environment, the ones who will suffer the most is the poorest of the poor.
Okay.
Yeah, kasi tayo will be fine. We can get our canned goods from somewhere.
Right.
But them, no, they're going to say we didn't get to have any catch today.
Okay.
Diba?
Now, going back to Sierra Madre, why is that important? Who benefits from it, and how do they benefit from it?
The Sierra Madre people gets to
of course, we benefited from the blunting of the impact of a storm.
That's right. But first of all, destruction of property is a big deal to them, of course, because konting kembot lang, di ba, ng typhoon dyan, masira kunwari yung bahay nila, magkano naman gagastusin nila, di ba? I mean, on a practical side, that's what some people tend to forget, the simplest things. Like, what are the basic necessities for them? Siyempre, habitat. Where will they live? Nasira bahay nila. Paano yan? Who takes care of them? Ganon.
So what is threatening Sierra Madre now? What's going on that we should be concerned about?
There's still illegal logging.
Okay.
Yeah. For instance, I think policy should be implemented.
Okay.
Because, like, for instance, there are some areas around the Sierra Madre that's supposed to be it's considered a key biodiversity area, but it's not protected. Okay. So we should really push for that.
Okay.
Yes. Which Haribon is actually doing.
Okay.
Yes, we're lobbying for that.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit about some of the projects that are Haribon's projects that are related to Sierra Madre?
Oh, we're partnered with over 500 communities there.
Okay.
Yes, and we've been working in Sierra Madre for more than a decade.
Okay.
We also planted already like more than 1 million trees in the area.
Yeah.
And of course, it cannot be just about planting trees.
Right. As we said, you have to plant it the right way.
Yes, so it cannot be just about planting trees.
You have to look at the entire ecosystem.
We have to take care of the community.
Okay.
Because if the community is not empowered,
Okay.
they're going to resort to what?
Cutting down the trees.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you give them capability to earn
Okay.
without harming nature, they will actually even help taking care of the environment.
So this is another aspect of maybe
Yes.
helping address poverty.
Yeah, so we have capacity workshops there.
Right.
We even trained the indigenous people how to monitor the forest.
Right.
Okay, and the cute part there is kasi many of them are illiterate.
Okay.
So we taught them how to read, write, and do arithmetic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Galing, no? And then this is the nice part also. Many of the people who want to join that are women.
Okay.
So we have our Women Go project.
Okay.
And they're taught entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Also, aside from taking care of the forest and monitoring the forest, they're being taught how to handle their own small businesses.
Wow.
Yes.
It's interesting that addresses so many other concerns.
Yeah, I mean, kasi the reason why people destroy the environment is because they need money.
Okay.
So if they don't need the money, if they're able to make a living without destroying the environment, it's
a win-win. Yeah.
That's their last resort.
Yeah, yeah.
Normally.
Could be a win-win. Let me play play devil's advocate here for a minute, because a lot of people, especially these days, are advocating mining. And again, this, some say will threaten, places like Sierra Madre that ought to be preserved. But they do argue that, why should people remain destitute if there are, and if there are minerals that can be simply taken from the ground. Is that a valid argument? What do you think?
Well, on their side, it's a valid argument.
Well, I've always said that the things that you find on the ground, the trees and whatnot, are not without value.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. So we have to think of a way to marry progress and preservation.
Okay.
So it has to go hand in hand.
Okay.
So how are they doing it?
Okay.
I mean, many of them kasi nangyayari sa mining, they go there, they destroy the area. I mean,
Okay.
they dig and everything, then they just
Right.
leave it alone.
Right.
Or they're actually required to restore the area they've mined.
Right.
But many mining companies are not diligent about that.
Okay.
They start the reforestation, but with the wrong species.
You're right.
So they should go to Haribon actually, so
Yeah.
that they could be done properly. I mean, I don't mind kasi I'm not anti-mining because
Okay.
if I were, I'd be hypocrite. I would
Okay.
stop using my cell phone.
That's right. There's so many things that we
Precisely,
benefit. But
yeah.
The question is there a responsible way to go about it?
There is a responsible way to go
Okay.
about it. I used to be a member of Diwata, which is a women's group that advocates for responsible mining
Okay.
and takes care of the communities of mining of mine sites. There is a way to do it. We cannot ignore the fact that we do need the industry,
Right.
but we cannot also dismiss the fact that there is damage being done,
Right.
and it should be addressed.
Right.
And
right.
the only way to address that really is that we need the help of the government,
Right.
of course, and we need the help of scientists, of course, like organizations like Haribon, to guide the way, to tell them, oh, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing it for more than 50 years.
Yeah.
So they can approach us and then talk to us. We're not going to say no to them
Yeah.
because it's an important conversation to be
Yeah.
done. If you don't speak to these industries,
Right.
they'll move on their own.
Right. Right.
They need to move with us.
Okay. The previous administration, I think with the late Gina Lopez, was saying that, you can't simply put an economic value to the resources without putting value also to things above ground, just water. And she was saying that, you can't just simply dismiss water because people take it for granted, right? if there's no water, people die, right?
Correct.
I mean, they may have the gold, the nickel, or the silver, but without water, there's not life.
That's one of the biggest, people think kasi the biggest damage that mining does is by the digging.
Okay.
When actually it's because of the waste.
Okay.
So the waste kasi goes to a pond, a silting pond. So it's supposed to settle, and then the water
Right.
goes to the river.
Right.
But that's how it's supposed to be done.
That's what I mean. So it's not
Yes.
just the trees that
No.
are in danger, but also really more importantly,
The rivers.
water. Yeah.
The rivers, the fresh waters ecosystem gets really affected.
Right. So again, as you said, you're not anti-mining, and I think there's a responsible way to do it, but I think that's the discussion that needs to happen.
Correct. It has to happen. We cannot go and just strike in front of a corporation, say no to mining.
Right.
Because if you say no to mining,
Now we have to let go of our cell phones, our TV sets, and all our gadgets. Yeah.
exactly.
All right. We'll be right back with Ana Varona of Haribon Foundation. This is Business and Politics. We'll be right back.